guys, welcome back to the channel. This machine you can see behind me is called the Terminator T3 Weed Zapper by Old School Manufacturing. We're actually down here. We took an 8.5-hour drive to Sedalia, Missouri. This is where these are manufactured and made, and yeah, kind of exciting. So this is a T3 model. We bought a T2 model, Terminator. So what that means is we're gonna have a 40-foot bar, and we're gonna be zapping weeds in our fields this summer. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, make sure you like and subscribe. Not gonna be a super long video, just kind of wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at what's gonna be a super cool piece of equipment for us. And yeah, we're hoping to cut down on some manual weeding costs and go from there and clean up some of our bean fields. So super excited to have this machine back at the farm. I will do more videoing, probably do an overview of the machine when we have our actual machine. This is not our machine. This is a 60-footer. So we just came down, kind of get some lessons from the guys who build it, kind of know what we're getting into and to see it. So hey guys, welcome back. We are back in Minnesota, back in our shop. Last week we were down in Missouri looking at that weed zapper that I have in the front part of this video. We were down there last Thursday, Friday. It is now Tuesday of the following week, and kind of got a little bit of a busier day in the shop here. We're actually going to be taking out that old International backhoe. This is a project we bought late last summer. We bought it with the intentions of rebuilding it and going through it and getting it running again. We thought we'd be able to do that with the engine that's in it, but here I'll show you what the engine that's in it's like. As you can see, that engine sat in water for quite some time. The guy who we bought it from told us that it only had water in it for a little while, but we're thinking that water's probably been in it for 10 to 15 years. So yeah, kind of a bummer, but we're resourcing, trying to look for an engine, and we're just kind of delaying this project for now. We're gonna get out of the shop and kind of go from there. Then the other thing I wanted to show you guys, we got our planter parts board done. Kevin and I got that done last week. So here's what this is what I was talking about, a corn seed bowl. This is what drops the seeds to the belts that are gonna sit on this part of the shelf. My stickers didn't stick very good, but yeah, that'll be kind of nice. We'll have, like I said in the last video talking about that, we'll have 48 bowls on there. So that project turned out kind of good. And then we got to get our new to us fuel trailer out of the shed. So this is something I'm super excited for this year. We bought this used this winter, and we got it repainted. We put some cool pinstriping on it. I need to get some farm logo stickers from the back. And yeah, the fuel guy's actually coming today or tomorrow, and we're gonna get this sitting outside so that he can get it full, and then we're gonna get our planter hooked up and get a neighbor's combine into the shop that we're gonna go through for him. So yeah, we'll get to that right now in this video. So there we go. We got the old backhoe out of the shop. Kind of been in there a while. I think it's been in there. I think we stuffed it in there in late November, and we haven't really done much with it other than find out that it's got way more problems than we thought it did. Kind of a little bit of a disappointment finding out how stuck the engine is. I mean, that you guys saw the rust. I mean, that engine's been underwater for quite some time. When Sean took the drain pan out, I think he filled about a 5-gallon bucket of just water. So that was super disappointing, and then kind of the more we got into it, the more we found out was wrong. But yeah, kind of a disappointing project. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll find an engine and maybe we'll get it running one of these days, or maybe it's just gonna sit up in the shed for 5 years and then we'll find somewhere to get rid of it. But yeah, that's kind of where that project's at. And now Sean's gonna come back, grab the pallet of engine parts, and we'll get our planter board out of the way, and then we'll get that fuel trailer out of the way. All right, there we go. We got everything out of the way. We're kind of notorious for stacking stuff out of the way for the time and then worrying about it later. Well, now it's later. So we got some organizing and stuff to put away, parts, yeah, miscellaneous stuff, and then some cleaning. And then, like I said, we're gonna get our neighbor's combine. It's S670. We have a 9670, and we gotta get that S670 in here, go through it. It should be pretty easy. We've never worked on an S-Series combine before, but combines, not a lot of the insides that we look at changes. So we'll go through check the concaves, check the sieves, go through belts, bearings, all that good fun stuff for the neighbor. Then the other thing we gotta make room for is seed. So pretty soon we're gonna have corn seed rolling in, and this is what corn seed's gonna come in. That's actually a box of soybean seed from last year still left over that we're gonna use up this coming year. But yeah, we'll have like 9 or 10 of those totes coming in full of seed, and then some of our seed's actually starting to show up. So things you'll find out about us through this whole YouTube experience is we do organic test plots, and we've been doing an organic corn test plot for 3 or 4 years now, and it's actually grown tremendously. We just keep having companies who want to keep putting seed into our test plot, testing how they do up against varieties that we're already planting. So some of that seed's already starting to show up. This is a new seed that my brother Kevin got a hold of this year. We're going to be throwing that into the test plot, and then I think we're going to have like a total of 20 plus hybrids in our corn test plot. And also new to us this year, we're going to be running our first ever soybean test plot. So excited and nervous for that. There's kind of some things we got to go through and get figured out and learn about that. Everything's kind of always a learning experience, but we'll get it down and hopefully have some cool test plots, and I'll take you guys through the test plots throughout the year, and we'll kind of compare things. And if any farmers out there want to reach out to us and kind of learn more about what we're putting into our test plots and learning about results at the end of the year, feel free to comment me or DM me on Instagram or something like that. And yeah, we're kind of an open book here. So we like to share results. We like being shared results of things you guys learn and find and stuff like that. And if you guys have something that we should try or things that we should do, always feel free to comment, or like I said, DM me on Instagram and we can go from there. But so yeah, we're gonna get to cleaning and organizing, and then we'll start shuffling some equipment around. All right, I'm just hopping in our 2020 8345 RT John Deere tractor. This tractor just got back from Slayton, Minnesota. It was down at our dealer. This is the one that we just purchased last year, and we bought it out in Wyoming, and we never went to look at it. And the dealer, our salesman, said everything was good to go on it. And when we got it here, the one track was pretty beat up. So our salesman made it right. They hauled the tractor back to their shop, and they put it up on blocks, took the track off, and hauled it down to Omaha, Nebraska, and they actually fixed the track for us. So we just got that back. It's been up in the shed for a while, but it's been gone for a while, and we didn't think we needed to service it. We just used it on our grain cart this fall. That's all the more we used it, but we ended up putting 240 hours on it. So for this tractor to go on our planter, we need to service it before we hook it up. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna take it down to the shop, change the oil, check over a bunch of filters, and then hopefully get it hooked up here today. So yeah, we'll get that done and hopefully get it hooked up to the planter. All right, so I got the tractor in the shop here. I got the hood up. What I'm gonna do, being it was just at our dealer, completely gone through when we bought it 200 hours ago, I'm just gonna mostly focus on just the engine oil. We like to change our engine oil at 150, 200, 250 hours is kind of our sweet spot. That's where we really like to do it at. Relatively easy to do. All right, so like I said, this oil change is gonna be relatively easy. My drain plug is right here. What I need for that is a 32 millimeters. So let's go over to the toolbox and grab that. All we have in that for a socket size that big is in 3/4. So I will grab the big 3/4 ratchet. Then we'll get that drain plug out of there, and then we'll get the oil filter cartridge out of there. Get the oil out, and then, yeah, start pumping oil back in. Relatively, like I said, pretty easy process to do. So with these tractors, they hold about 28.5 quarts of oil. So I got 2 5-gallon pails here ready. I already got to swap them. And after I swap this, we can go change the oil filter cartridge. There we go. Usually I'm quite a bit more messy than that. So that's good. All right, so the oil filter cartridge takes the same size socket. So we'll go over there. And my oil filter cartridge is right there, right next to the fuel filters. Try to pop you guys down somewhere where you can see this. And there we go. There's our oil filter cartridge, and I'll just set that there. And yeah, now I'll clean up my oil, then we'll put a new cartridge in, and then I'll let that oil drain out for a little bit, probably 10 minutes or so. And then I'll add oil back in, and that's kind of all there is to it. Like I said, actually relatively easy. All right, so got the oil change in the tractor and got it cleaned out. And while we were in the shop looking over the tractor, just kind of making sure we didn't need to do anything else, we noticed we need to put on our hydraulic third link right there for the 3-point. So all of our weeding tools get hooked up to that 3-point, and so we make it hydraulically controlled from the cab to control the pitch, mostly for our Hinneker cultivators, to control the amount of dirt that throws. That's kind of the most important thing those do. But then just kind of hooking up implements and just kind of running through the field, it's nice to make adjustments from the cab. That's something we've converted all of our tractors to over the past couple years, and that's something that's paid off really nicely for us. So I'm gonna run this tractor back in to the shop. Sean's gonna work on that. I actually have to get back into town to take care of my kids, so this is where I'm going to end the video. I know I talked about hooking up our planter, but we're not going to get to that today. But I want to get some content put out there for you guys. So yeah, just kind of a recap of the video. The trip down to Missouri was awesome. That was great to kind of get to learn about our weed zapper, kind of learn about what we purchased, learn about how to operate it, and learn about the programming of it. And I'll get into that more in a more specific video for that. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what's to come, because that's a super cool piece of equipment. So I didn't get into a lot with that piece of equipment, kind of went over it really fast, but there will definitely be a video solely based on that piece of equipment, and hopefully tons of videos of it running. I have a new drone now, so I'll get to drone footage started once we get going, and we're getting close. I mean, it's pretty cool right now. It's probably unseasonably cool. You know, we're not usually not quite this cold right now. It was like 26 this morning when I woke up. So yeah, once the ground kind of gets warmed up, we'll get some weeds activating and we'll start getting busy in the field and get started manure spreading, that sort of stuff. We got a little bit of that to do this spring. A little bit for ourselves, a little bit for a neighbor, and a little bit of other custom work. And yeah, we'll get going. So just thanks again. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I will, as soon as we get to 500 subscribers, I will give away that tractor. I know in a couple videos I mentioned commenting on that video, but I think I'm just gonna switch to just kind of picking out of the 500 subscribers. I'll find some sort of giveaway wheel or something like that to make it random. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and stay tuned for more content to come. Thanks.